WhatsApp takes its centre to court, challenging new digital rules on grounds of violation of user privacy. The centre says the right to privacy is not absolute. WhatsApp restrictions are reasonable to protect law, order and sovereignty of India. At least 2 dead as Cyclone Yas makes landfall, weakens after large-scale damage in coastal West Bengal and Odisha. Accurate predictions save many lives. India's average daily cases lowest since the 20th of April, but the 10-day average deaths are still above the 4,000 mark. 1 lakh deaths reported in the month of May alone. 1 in 3 overall deaths just this May. Uttar Pradesh government hospital mixes up COVID-19 vaccine doses. Villagers first get a shot of Covishield followed by Covaxin. Health officials say those vaccinated are doing fine so far. Uday Kotak, in an exclusive interview to NDTV, advocates against the centre's current fragmented vaccine procurement policy, says centre must buy 75% of all vaccines, private players the rest, and the centre should distribute equitably to states. Is the central government's liberal vaccine policy a false promise? The centre fixes quotas for how much vaccine Delhi can buy in June. Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Rishika Barwa. The big breaking story: we're tracking Mehul Choksi has been captured by the Antigua police. He was trying to flee to Cuba, say sources. Arvind Gunasekar, tracking the details, joins us with the very latest. Arvind, what more can you tell us?
Rishika, the fugitive and accused in the Punjab National Bank scam, Mehul Choksi, who went missing from Antigua, from where he has taken refuge 2 years back, has been captured in Antigua, in Dominica, the north of Dominica. That's what our sources in CBI and Enforcement Directorate have confirmed to us. In fact, there is a red notice against that has been opened against Mehul Choksi, and that's how our agencies were very confident, saying that if he tries to flee Antigua or any other place, the moment he enters any immigration point, then they would be alerted. So they were very confident that Mehul Choksi, if he tries to flee Antigua, he will be nabbed soon. So as per their confidence, now what we are seeing is that Mehul Choksi would try to flee Antigua and then reach Dominica through a boat. He was actually planning to go to Cuba. That's what our sources have confirmed to us. But the Dominican police have arrested Mehul Choksi as of this moment, and what we are being told is that the process to hand him over to Antigua is currently underway. So very soon he will be brought back to Antiguan authorities. So what our agencies are saying is that this will make the agency's case very stronger, because Mehul Choksi has already filed a case at the Antigua court seeking for a stay, seeking for a refuge there. But the Indian authorities are very confident through the Ministry of External Affairs and through the Indian Embassy there. They would be presenting their case there, saying that Mehul Choksi is again a flight risk. He is again trying to escape the local law also. And that's so this will make the Indian case very stronger. And very soon this will help Mehul Choksi to be extradited to India.
All right, Arvind, we'll keep a close watch on all those developments. Appreciate you for joining us with the latest. At least 2 people have died as Cyclone Yas made landfall today, predicted to be a very severe cyclonic storm. The cyclone is now weakening after large-scale damage in parts of coastal West Bengal and Odisha. However, accurate predictions went a long way today in saving lives.
It was nothing like the super cyclone of 1999, nor did it pack the punch of Amphan last May. But Cyclone Yas has hurt, pounding coastal Odisha and Bengal for 3 whole hours, leaving a trail of destruction, claiming 1 life each in both states.
দুর্ভাগ্যবশত একজন মারা গেছেন, সেটাও অ্যাক্সিডেন্টাল ডেথ। সে রিলিফ ক্যাম্পে উঠে এসেছিল, তারপরে মাছে জাল ফেলতে গেছিল। এটা জাল ফেলতে গিয়ে মাছে শুনলাম সে ডুবে গেছে।
Balasore, the landfall site, bore the brunt of deadly winds gusting at 155 kilometers per hour, extremely heavy rain, and the sea surge at Bhadrak, Jagatsinghpur, Kendrapada as well. It was the sea surge that also devastated low-lying Bengal. In Digha, East Midnapur, Fraserganj, South 24 Parganas and Hingalganj in the north. There, waters swollen by a lunar high tide swept into hundreds of villages, smashing river embankments, impacting 1 crore people, Mamata Banerjee has said, and the saline water destroying acres of farmland.
Right now situation is quite grim because we are in New Digha, and last year also during the Amphan we were stationed here only, but we didn't see, there was no water, sea water which overflown to this part, and this water level is now increasing.
Kolkata is heaving a collective sigh of relief. Memories of Cyclone Amphan are still very fresh in the minds of the city. Last time, I remember many roads blocked for days because of fallen trees, telephones out of order, and no electricity for days on end. The weather forecast was spot on the cyclone's path, its wind speeds, surge and time frame. But there are growing concerns about the increasing frequency of cyclones forming in the Bay of Bengal.
यस अभी धीरे धीरे वीक हो रहा है. अभी अगले 2 घंटे के अंदर ये वीक होकर एक साइक्लोनिक स्टॉर्म में परिणत हो जाएगा, और इसके बाद आज मध्य रात्र को ये उत्तर उत्तर पश्चिमी दिशा में जाते हुए एक डीप डिप्रेशन में परिणत होगा, और कल सुबह झारखंड के ऊपर ये एक डिप्रेशन में परिणत हो जाएगा.
Cyclone Yas will bring heavy rains to Jharkhand this evening and Thursday, subsequently Bihar. But Yas, named so by Oman and ominously means despair, will have lost its muscle by then. With Manish Kumar in Digha and Saurav Gupta in Kolkata, Monidika Banerjee, NDTV.
The centre's liberal vaccine policy a false promise. On the 21st of April, the centre announced a new liberal vaccine policy wherein states can buy 50% stock directly from the free market, this for the age category of 18 to 45. Now, documents with NDTV show that the centre has fixed specific quotas of how much vaccine, for instance, the Delhi government can directly purchase from manufacturers. Uday Kotak, in an exclusive interview to NDTV, has called for a change to the centre's vaccine policy. He says the centre must buy 75% of all vaccines and private players buy the rest. The centre should then distribute equitably to states.
What you make of what has happened to the vaccination drive, because the numbers you talked about in terms of the supply coming in 6 to 8 crores a month, the fact is that the actual supply to the states, particularly in that 18 to 45 category, has crashed. Several states have actually had to close down their vaccination centers, which is why, as I mentioned, from vaccinating about 36 lakhs per day, 36 lakh doses a day in the early part of April, we're now down to 16 lakhs, which is less than half. This is after the centre said that we are liberalizing the policy, we are allowing states to buy directly from vaccine makers. Clearly something has gone wrong. What, in your view, is that?
I have a recommendation to make. Currently the new policy requires 3 players, the centre, the states and the private sector. The quota for the centre is 50%, and for the states and the private sector, it's not defined and it's within the balance 50%. My personal view is we should break it down to only 2 quotas. Centre 75%, private sector 25%. And within the centre's quota, the centre must work towards an equitable distribution of the vaccine on a national basis across states. And that 75% pricing can be negotiated by the centre with the manufacturer, whether it's a mix of 150 or 300, but whatever it is, fix one price and 75% going to the centre, who in turn distributes to the states, and 25% is free for private sector markets.
And in an incident which an officer has blamed on oversight, a group of villagers were given mixed doses of the COVID-19 vaccine at a government hospital in Uttar Pradesh. Around 20 villagers in the Siddharthnagar district, about 270 kilometers from Lucknow, were given first a shot of Covishield and then subsequently Covaxin as their second dose. Officials claim no one has faced any adverse effects so far.
A cocktail of COVID vaccines for this elderly couple and 18 other villagers in UP's Siddharthnagar who were injected with Covishield in the first week of April and then given Covaxin as their second dose in mid-May. The shocker took place at this primary health center in the largely rural district around 270 kilometers from state capital Lucknow.
20 लोगों को कोविशील्ड पहला डोज दिया गया, बाद में उनको कोवैक्सीन लगा दिया गया। तो ये चूक नहीं है सर?
ये चूक तो है क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का अभी कोई मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हेल्थ की कोई ऐसी गाइडलाइन नहीं है कि कॉकटेल लगे, जिसके लिए हमने इंक्वायरी ऑर्डर की थी और उस रिपोर्ट के आधार पे जिन जिन दोषी लोगों को मैंने उनको स्पष्टीकरण उनसे मांगे हैं।
While the impact of mixing vaccines is still the subject of global research, this official has claimed that none of the villagers have suffered any adverse effects from this so-called oversight. But at least one of the villagers who received the mixed shots said no one from the health department had come to check on them.
वैक्सीन तो वहाँ डॉक्टर ने बताया कि ये तो गलत हो गया, वहाँ लग गया दूसरा सुई। कोई नहीं आया, कोई कर्मचारी नहीं आया, ना सरकारी आया ना गैर सरकारी, कोई कर्मचारी नहीं आया पूछने के लिए।
Last month, 3 elderly women in Western UP's Shamli district were given an anti-rabies shot instead of the COVID vaccine, the UP government acknowledged after a probe. With Salman Amir in Siddharthnagar and Vineet Verma, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Well, the first patient who's ever gotten the COVID treatment cocktail, the monoclonal antibodies treatment at the Medanta hospital has been discharged. An 82-year-old was discharged from the hospital in 24 hours, according to Naresh Trehan.
So that's why it has been tested extensively and used extensively in the United States and Europe. And the experience shows that when given in time means the first 7 days of the infection are what we call the viral replication stage, or when the virus multiplies. So by blocking it there, you are reducing the severity of the disease in everybody, but especially in those people who would have had a severe infection because of comorbidities along with their age and also a high viral load.
Now in Tamil Nadu, social distancing norms were violated at ration shops as people defied COVID-appropriate behavior. Could this lead to a second surge in the weeks to come? That's the big worry. Sam Daniel with the full story.
At least a few hundred people queue up without physical distancing for a few hours every day at ration shops like this one to buy essential commodities and collect the government's cash relief of 2,000 rupees per family. Lakshmi, a domestic help, has come in to collect free rice. She's been without work or pay for the 3rd week. Many like Usha say they've no choice.
The government has to take this responsibility. Yeah, because the government put separate volunteers for the separate stations. Then only the crowd is clear.
In the first wave, Chennai's Coimbatore market turned into a super spreader, infecting more than 6,000 people. Now, with the city's daily tallying just beginning to dip after crossing 7,500 2 weeks ago, doctors are worried.
It is important for us to be socially responsible enough to prevent the spread of the disease. We either swim together or sink together.
Following NDTV's report, authorities sent in volunteers to regulate the crowd. But with uncertainty over lifting of lockdown, the government says ration shops can't be shut. However well-intended, there's little public cooperation even as Tamil Nadu's daily tally hovers around 34,000. Over the weekend, the state government had let the floodgates of shops and outstation travel open, and that had led to criticism. And now there's worry all these could lead to yet another spike in the weeks to come. In Chennai with Shah Vijay, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
Welcome back. It's been 6 months since the farmer agitation began and protesting farmers observed a black day. However, given the COVID crisis, farmers decided against crowding at the borders. However, they remain undeterred, say they will continue the agitation. Akshay Dongre reports.
Braving winter, summer, scorching sun, police water cannons and tear gas, a tractor parade and violence and arrests after the farmers' agitation reached Red Fort. Six months after the anti-farm laws protests started and 11 rounds of talks with the government later, farmers are standing their ground. In this time, these farmers have also lost 400 of their colleagues to illness, COVID, cold and suicide.
We are ready to face anything. We are prepared for this agitation till the logical end. In the 11 meetings up to 22nd January, we have proved our case. We have proved that these laws are not in the interest of the country, in the interest of the farmer. The government has no logic behind these laws.
These 6 months have also seen a COVID surge in rural Haryana, and the Chief Minister blames the farmers' agitation.
और चाहे आजकल ये जो सड़कों पर बैठ के आंदोलन चलाने वाले लोग, इनसे भी मैं निवेदन कल भी मैंने किया है कि ये सरकार के साथ लड़ाई आपकी हमारी चलती रहेगी। एक बार इस कोरोना से मुक्त हो जाए हम लोग, आज ये समय, क्योंकि उसमें से भी कोरोना आगे बढ़ रहा है, फैलाव हो रहा है, गाँव में बुरी हालत हो रही है।
The agitation has also seen sharp political divides, but it has continued largely without political support. Even though the farmers take credit for the BJP's loss in the West Bengal polls.
As the talks between the central government and the farm union leader doesn't seem to be taking place in the near future, the farmers are adamant that they will continue with their agitation till the time the farm laws are not repealed. Meanwhile, a lot of states go to poll next year, and it would be interesting to see that how the central government and the farm union leaders change their strategy, keeping that in mind. With Mohammad Ghazali in Chandigarh and camera person Sushil Rathi, I'm Akshay Dongre for NDTV.
And finally, ZEE5 has announced that the much-awaited Friends, the reunion will premiere on its platform on the 27th of May, the same time as the rest of the world. But my colleague Rohit Khilnani has already watched it. Rohit?
Yes, Rishika, I've watched it, and I want to tell the viewers that when I sent out an email saying I've watched it, Rishika was the first person to reply and say, I want your job. So that's the kind of excitement that everybody has about this show. Rishika, I've watched it. Very, very emotional, taking you back in time, taking all the 6 actors back on the sets. The creators are a part of the show. The writers are a part of the show. Also, some very interesting trivia, some jokes that we found funny, how they were not funny on the sets, and when the writers thought that some jokes may not be funny, and the actors, and the audience over there, the live audience reacted differently, and that's when they stretched it and carried it forward. I was not very happy with the trailer, but I'm extremely happy and all smiles after watching this episode.
All right, Rohit, thanks so much for joining
Rishika,
us.
Just when you watch it, make sure you have a tissue box with you.
All right, so that's a bit of a disclaimer there. No spoilers. Rohit has given out absolutely no spoilers, but thanks so much for joining us. The Friends reunion will premiere tomorrow. We'll, of course, keep a close watch on all those reactions. That's all the time we have on this bulletin. Good night and thanks for watching.